All right. So for this week's poll time, I asked the question, what do you use to scan and pay for things as a Walt Disney World Resort hotel guests, i.e. enter the parks, tap into the room charging, etc. And I asked everyone to select all that apply and explain. So these results are a little skewed because for some reason, one of my options just disappeared for no reason. Thanks, Facebook. And so I had to add it on after the fact, after people had started voting.
Zuckerberg.
So, yeah. So again, these are going to be a little skewed, but the top one is actually phone, watch, or compatible smart device of 47%. Now, Magic Band is 42%, but when I was looking initially at the results, Magic Band is actually much higher. So Magic Band and then a smart device, and then 9% use other, which is usually like Disney gift cards or Disney Visa. That's usually most of the ones I saw. And then 2% use their physical ticket to do all of that stuff.
Old school
Physical ticket. Now, you sometimes do that. Use your card.
I have my wallet. It's an AP card, but I mean, 9 times out of 10 anymore, I just use my phone. Yeah, that's what I don't. I don't wear a watch, and so I will have them. Like if we're staying in a hotel, like to get into the park, unless we're staying on property, I'll usually just use my phone. Mm-hmm. If we're staying on property, I usually will have my Magic Band, just because getting into your room is much easier using the Magic Band. There's a lot of little flaws on the phone, and sometimes you go to get in on the phone because they're supposed to be able to unlock your room key or your room from your phone. Sometimes that doesn't work. Right. I've had that happen where the whole system goes down. So, and that sometimes can be a long walk to the main desk if you don't have one. Yep. So I oftentimes will have a Magic Band when we're on property for that reason.
Yeah. And I use my Magic Band to enter the park. If I am charging things, which I rarely do, I'll use my Magic Band, and then I'll use my phone to open the room if it works, or use my watch, like just a collection of stuff. But I rarely use my card unless I just don't have anything else on me.
I've used the card, I think, of one time whenever I think I forgot everything else, and I think it was something to do with the app, and it was like updating. Or anyways, I couldn't use the app or my phone to do it, and I had my AP card on me, so it worked. So I keep it. I mean, obviously you keep it in there to show for like discounts and stuff. So
yeah,
it's always an option to use it.
Yeah, I don't have my Magic Band Plus anymore. I only bought one, and it fell off like a year ago while I was on the monorail. So I just didn't get a new one. So I'm still using my Magic Band Plus or Magic Band 2. I'm just rocking that.
So would you say my initial thoughts on the Magic Band Plus were accurate?
I think, well, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, my initial thoughts on the Magic Band Plus, for those that may not know, was when it came out, I was like, it seemed kind of gimmicky with the, like, you can stand in front of the statues and they'll do stuff. It'll light up during fireworks. And it has a little, I think when you scan into the park, doesn't it have a special color or something it would show. Outside of that, wasn't that kind of it for what it did outside of the regular Magic Band?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
So at the time I said, I just felt like unless they introduce new things, I feel like most people just end up going with the regular Magic Band, considering they're like almost twice as much.
They're pretty expensive. I really don't feel like spending another $40-$50 on a Magic Band Plus. Besides, like, they haven't really said anything, like, the last year or so, they haven't really integrated anything else into it.
Well, and that was what I was saying. I was like, surely they'll have more stuff to introduce into it, because then you're obviously incentivizing people. Oh, you got to get the new one because it does X, Y, and Z. But like at this point, I've always felt it was, again, gimmicky to like, oh, you're watching the fireworks show, let me look at my Magic Band. Oh, it lights up too. That's really, and like that's like a 2-second thing where you're like, oh, that's cool. And half the time, the sound effects they had for those statues at the 50th, half the time you and our daughter were trying to make those work, and half the time they wouldn't work.
Yeah.
They were very like on and off. So I don't know. I am a little surprised they haven't done more with those, but that's not the point of this topic. So.
But anyway, I do use my Magic Band, but it's Magic Band 2. So I'm just rocking that old school. Anyway, so thank you everybody for participating in the poll this week. I will have a new poll next week.
Yes, and if you want to be a part of the next poll time, you can do that in 2 ways. You can go over and join the Capture the Magic Facebook community. trying to think of a different name for that. If you have any suggestions,
we're still thinking.
Put them in the Facebook group because I don't want to keep community. We'll change to something else. Maybe family. I don't know. We've talked about that. You can do that. Jamie posts those polls in there, and you can also follow us on Instagram over at Captain Magic as she posts those in the stories over there.